This was your first remote VMware world. How exactly did it go, and how will this impact sales, given that these huge enterprise software conferences are actually a big deal in your world and drive a lot of new business?
Well, thank you, Emily, and great to be on Bloomberg TV today. And, at our physical event, we might have had 25,000 people or so showing up. We have 150,000 people for the virtual event because many people said, hey, I might send 10 people to San Francisco, but now they have 50 people joining online. So we've seen that much larger audience worldwide. We're now 6 hours into our 48-hour worldwide event. And so far, it's just going fabulously well and a lot of energy. The NVIDIA announcement bringing AI, democratizing to every developer and every enterprise, being able to announce new, key new innovations and applications and networking. So far, a very exciting show.
Now, VMware is poised to be spun off by Dell next year. What will that deal allow you to do? How will that impact, future M&A, hiring, for example?
Yeah, well, one thing we'd say is the Dell relationship is great. We're going to make sure we keep that going on the other side of a spinoff should it occur. We'd also say that one of the things we can't do now is use our equity for M&A. We can only do it out of cash proceeds. So this, we expect, will be a positive thing to expand the horizon for M&A. And clearly being a bit more independent will be beneficial for ecosystem and employees looking at VMware as an attractive place to be. So overall, the debt markets, the equity markets, that potential, we see promise there. But of course, we have a long way to go until we get to that 5-year anniversary and a spinoff is possible.
Right. So what is the status of a spinoff? Are you still on track for 2021?
Well, we'd hope that by that time frame that we'd be in a position to do it, but we formed a special committee. Work is underway, and beyond that, I can't say a whole lot else at this point in time. But given the, as you say, we think the markets will look at it favorably. So I'm reasonably optimistic, but a long way to go.
Now, in this new remote world, you've got a lot of workers leaving Silicon Valley for cheaper places to live, totally understandable. And you've got a lot of companies that want to honor that flexibility, let them make those decisions, but are trying to figure out how to deal with pay packages and the logistics. VMware, Bloomberg reported a couple of weeks ago, was going to be cutting pay for some of the workers who were going to be leaving the Silicon Valley area. What more can you tell us about how you're managing this transition and what lessons are there for other companies?
Yeah, and what we said was we're beginning our workforce of the future now. We're not waiting until next year vaccines may occur. We've seen such benefit to this distributed workforce model that we're implementing those policies right now, which allows people to decide where they want to work from. And as we said, before the pandemic, we were maybe 20% work from home. After this has all occurred, we expect people will maybe be 20% office dwellers, maybe 30% hybrid, sometimes in the office, sometime at home, but over 50% work from home. That's a dramatic shift. And as a result, we've been adjusting our policies, giving per diems for at-home IT. But we've also said, hey, if somebody was hired in the Midwest versus the Bay Area, when they move to the Midwest, they'll be at the Midwest pay packages, and that's fair and reasonable. And if they move to another country, we hire them into the pay ranges of that country as well as if they would relocate it. So it's a very, I'll say, normal and fair way to view that transition. But we said people can start making those decisions now. And for us, we're quite excited because it also gives us more reach for diverse workforces as well. Some, cities might not have been on our hiring target, where now some of those diverse inner city areas, absolutely you can work from there and be part of this great VMware team. So we're quite excited that it reduces carbon, gives people more flexibility, enables us to have more diversity. So overall, we think this is a win-win-win.
Employees are actually taking you up on this, and how do you think this will reshape the talent wars, which have typically been really competitive in Silicon Valley?
Yeah, I think it actually helps us quite a lot. So far we've started to see a trickle. Everybody's sort of going home and saying to their families, should we relocate? And we've had some, and my chief of staff just relocated and says, boy, I'm taking advantage of this opportunity. But it's just starting to build up now as people start to consider their own life decisions. where they want their kids to go to school, where, in fact, they might want to be near parents and other choices. But I think over time, this changes the footprint because today I have to bring people to some of the most expensive areas on the planet. Now I get to say to them, you want to work in the Midwest? All in, we're good with that, right? As you look to the future. So I think it will actually moderate some of the talent wars because it allows us to reach more and give them more flexibility. So overall, we see this as a competitive advantage as we're aggressively leaning into this work from anywhere kind of approach.